Well, this time I'm gonna leave the radio on as we record this, cause well. Anyways, here's a scorecard. I hope you have one handy, cause this is some of the review of the franchise moves and expansion of the 1960s. So we had the Braves last season in Boston in 1952, first season in Milwaukee in 1953. St. Louis Browns slash Baltimore Orioles last season in St. Louis 1953, first season in Baltimore in 1954. The A's last season in Philadelphia 1954, first season in Kansas City 1955. Although they're not done moving yet, there's one more. As with the Braves, there's still one more. Okay, the Dodgers leaving Brooklyn. Last season in Brooklyn was a 57 season, and first season in Los Angeles was 1958. The Giants last season in New York was also 1957, and their first season in San Francisco was both 1958. There's talk that Walter O'Malley had convinced Horace Stoneham to join him on the West Coast. Because originally the plan was for the Giants to move to Minnesota because that's where their farm team was. I don't know if it's true that O'Malley convinced Stoneham to move the Giants to San Francisco when the Dodgers were going to Los Angeles, but if anybody knows, say something. And just recently, the finished 1960 season had Washington's last season in Washington, and the Twins' first season will be in tomorrow's video, the 1961 season. This is what really boggles the mind. When that move was being planned, the American League expansion, which the Washington Senators and the Minnesota Twins ran, they were planning to add for the Los Angeles Angels and the second. Okay, so what happened was the original Senators moved to Minnesota after the 1960 season for 1961. Two new teams added for the American League for the 1961 season: Los Angeles Angels and the Washington Senators. I'm like, okay, you move one Senators team out of Washington and put them in Minnesota, and you put a second team in Washington, also naming the Senators. Like, you couldn't just put them in Minnesota? I don't quite understand that, but okay. And that's what I didn't quite understand, was why move one Washington team when you could put a second Washington team in to play the night? Okay. And of course, the 1961 season will have 10 American League teams and an expanded 162 game schedule. And the National League in 1962 also expanded 10 teams. The Houston, originally the Colt 45s, and the New York Mets. And the 1962 season will also have a 162 game schedule, and the Colt 45s had to play in a temporary stadium until the Astrodome opened. And when the Astrodome opened, it was his first indoor stadium. And seeing as though it was an indoor stadium and grass can't really grow indoors, well, they tried to put real grass in there and have the roof let in natural light, but players complained about losing the ball in the roof because of the light, so they decided to paint over it. I don't know. Paint over the roof a darker color, and seeing as though there's not gonna be no extra daylight coming in, it's like, yeah, let's take out the grass and put in some artificial grass. And it's probably led to one of the best quotes I've ever heard. Somebody had asked Tug McGraw former pitcher and manager. And yes, he's the father of Tim McGraw, so there you go. There's a fun fact for you. Some of you, father of Tim McGraw, yes, he was. Some of you asked Tug McGraw what he thought of the artificial grass. He was like, I don't know. I've never smoked the stuff before. I'm like, what a quote. And funny quotes is like Casey Stengel, who just got let go or fired by the Yankees. He had turned 60 in 1960. He turned 70 in 1960. He was born in 1890, so he was amazing. Make him 70. He's like, he said they'll never make the mistake of turning 70 again after he got let go. Like, and when he turned 75 in 1965, he said, most people my age are dead at the present time. You can look it up. That's what he said. As once during the 1960 season, they had Bob Servais on the bench and is on the dugout, and Casey Stengel sat sitting about 10 feet away. And Stengel says, "There's not many people that know this, but one of us has just been traded to Kansas City." There went Bob Serve. Like, oh, geez, what a way to find out. I was like, wait, what? I just got traded to Kansas City? What? Yeah. So anyways, there's your scorecard. Plus a couple great quotes. Or 3. Anyways, so there's some of that confusement done, I hope. And it was the second Washington Senators team ends up moving to Texas, I think, after this 1970 season or the 71 season. Yeah. So, yeah, plus there's another expansion coming in for the 1969 season, so stay tuned for that. Until then, stay tuned.